Let's make a snowman. Oh yeah. I'm gonna make I'm gonna put this over here. Mine's gonna be over here, way over here. Okay.
Hey guys, it's Lainey. Well, it is Tuesday, and I figured that I would make chicken and dumplings and show y'all how to make them. I did like making the spaghetti, $1 million spaghetti, or whatever that was. So I figured, yeah, I'll show y'all how to make chicken and dumplings the way that my mama showed me, except it's a little bit easier than what my mom showed me. And I'll explain that when we get into the video. So, hope y'all enjoy it, and I will add the recipe down in the description below. Okay, see you in a little bit. Okay, so the first step is to boil a pot of water. Okay, so depending on how much chicken you want to use, depends on the size of your pot. This is a huge one. I don't know the size. But what I do before I put the water in is I go ahead and I add the salt and the pepper just for some taste. And then fill it up with water. Okay, so basically you're going to take chicken breast that's thawed. And you're going to cut it up. You can cut it in slices, you can cut it up in chunks. It's however you want to cut it up. But just be sure you cut it up before you put it in the water. So, here is the easy part. You get regular old buttermilk biscuits straight out of the can. And you're going to open them up, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit tricky since I'm holding the camera with one hand and I got a rolling pan in the other. So anyway, you're going to get your biscuit. Put it in the flour.
Okay.
Roll it up. Bye. Just flatten it out. So you can either cut it in fours. You can cut it in fours, or you can cut it in slices. I like to cut it in slices because it kind of reminds me like Crackle Barrel's chicken and dumplings. So that's how I'm gonna do it. See? Cut it in slices like that. And then just take them and drop them in your little bowl here. So that way, when your chicken's ready, you can add the biscuits in there. This is probably the worst cooking video I'm ever gonna do. But this was last minute. The water is boiling. I added some more seasoning in there just to add a little bit of spice. And so now I'm going to add the chicken so it'll boil. Alright, so I cut them up in cubes and just go ahead and just let it boil. Make sure that the chicken is cooked completely before you start putting in the biscuits. Forgot to add. My family, we like lots of dumplings, but normally you would put 2 of the small cans, which are the 7.5 ounces. You'd usually want to put 2, but like I said, we like lots of dumplings, so we like to put 3. Okay, so that process took about, I want to say about 15-20 minutes to do. But you can see they're all flat. So now all of them are covered in flour. So now you want to take your bowl and start dropping them into the pot. You just want to continue doing that. One more thing. Try not to dump them all in at the same time because they can clump up together real easy if you do it that way. Okay, so you want to be careful because as you can see, it's starting to boil or boil over. So every once in a while you want to keep an eye on it and you want to stir it up, keep the boil down. Okay, so now I can go ahead and just lower down the temperature, but they still need to cook. And this is more like what my mom calls an eyeball meal. You've got to watch it, and you can tell for yourself if it's ready or not. If you've had chicken and dumplings, then you know what dumplings are supposed to look like. Like this one right here, it looks like it's almost done. It's not fluffy, it's flat, and that's what you want. Now, every once in a while, you will get what my husband calls a boiled biscuit, where it's still fluffy on the inside. No matter how much you flatten it down, it still ends up fluffy and it's cooked on the inside. Those are probably his favorite though. That's why he doesn't complain. So, but usually it takes probably, well, after you've got the biscuits in there, it takes, let's say about 20 minutes, sometimes less, just depending on how much you're making. And since we made triple the dumplings, it does take a little bit longer because we have to cook all of them. But you'll notice though, because they'll end up sinking and you won't have as many on the top as you normally would. And if it's a clear liquid, you don't want that. You want it to be more thicker and cloudier. You can add more flour to it and mix it up, and then as it sits and it cooks, it'll start to thicken up on its own. Alrighty, so here's the chicken and dumplings, as promised. Turned out creamy, good. Took about 30 minutes, but I let it sit and cool down for roughly about an hour now. And, alright, so go ahead and try it. Remember, it's hot, so you need to blow on it before you put it in your mouth. It's hot, baby. Awesome. As long as my girls like it, I'm good.